Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. All right? This money, these greenbacks, this gold, this silver, all this wealth, the 2/3 of our people, strive to accumulate, and some of them actually do succeed. Okay, all this wealth that the heathen heavily rely upon and worship. Okay, this ain't gonna save anybody in the time of Jacob's trouble and in the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai returns, all right, money is not gonna be of any value to you. Okay, and right now what's happening is we're seeing the devaluation of the dollar already in real time. You see hyperinflation coming in, and you see that they are getting rid of pennies, all right? And it's official. These, pennies, 1 cent, right? The little green coin or little brown coins, a penny, right? They're getting rid of the pennies, and there's rumors that they're going to get rid of nickels eventually, okay? And that's where I got this article. Nice little quick short read. It says U.S. Mint produces final batch of pennies as Treasury ends production. So they just made their final batch of pennies. All right. It says the United States Mint is producing its final batch of pennies this week, marking the end of the 1 cent coin's 233-year run following an executive order from President Donald Trump. The decision announced in February 2025 comes as the cost of minting a single penny has risen to 3.69 cents. And just think about that, man. All right? That shows you this man is the devil, man. What type of person, what type of people create a system where it costs more money to make a coin than the coin is actually worth? Make that make sense, man. All right, that shows you how base Esau is, man. All right, but it continues making it financially unstable or unsustainable. With the penny officially discontinued, cash transactions will now be rounded to the nearest nickel, man. You see that? And when I saw this, I got goosebumps, man. I started, imagining, think about how weird that is, man. You're going to go to the store and nothing's going to be, $19.99 anymore. $19.99. That's going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be $19.95. You see how weird that is? Everything's going to be rounded. Okay? And then they do away with nickels, then it's going to be rounded to the next dime, right? So it'll be $19.90 or $20. You see? And you can see this is the first step for them to do away with cash, man. All right, completely do away with cash while they're already, they've already got the C-hips out, and they have these, credit cards and debit cards. So everybody's used to the whole digital thing, man. And as they go phasing out all cash, starting with the penny is only the logical choice. Because remember, and the brothers, we bring this out a lot. I'm going to bring it out again because it's important to know, okay? It's called gradualism, okay? Gradualism is a concept, right? This is an AI overview. A concept that describes change occurring in small incremental steps over time rather than in an abrupt or sudden leaps. It is a principle that can be applied to various fields. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. It's just a slow change, right? It's like a boiling a frog. Okay, so they say if you put a frog in hot boiling water, it's gonna freak out and jump out, right? But if you put a frog in cold water or warm water, and then you slowly heat up the water till it starts boiling, the frog will never move because he will not notice the change in temperature because it's so gradual. You see, it's like when you work out in the gym, right? You're doing bicep curls. Let's say you curl in 20s. Next thing you know, you curl in 25s, then 30s, right? A few years down the road, you might be curling 40s. And you might be curling 40s just as easy as you was curling 20s a year ago. And will you say it's the same weight? No, it's different weight. But what happened was your body adapted to a gradual change. And not only the body, but the mind, because that's how people's minds work, man. All right, you got to ease people into these ideas, man. The elite know this, man. The elite of Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, they are not dummies, man. Okay, they are not dummies. All right, so let's get back to the article. It says, sparking debate over its impact on pricing and consumer spending. While some economists argue that eliminating the penny will streamline transactions, others worry about pricing adjustments and the potential for inflationary effects, right? And that could cause a problem, man. Because, of course, do you think these businesses are going to round down or they're going to round up? Okay, they're just going to round up. So, that's just a little bit of extra inflation. And then also, it can have it can have a domino effect and affect many other things that most people aren't aware of. All right, because economics, can be a very deep subject, and it can get complicated very quickly. But every time you change something in price, or it affects other things as well. Salakia. With the penny officially discontinued, cash transactions will now be rounded to the nearest nickel, sparking debate over its impact on pricing and consumer spending. While some economists argue that eliminating the penny will streamline transactions, others worry about pricing adjustments and the potential for inflationary effects. The Treasury Department has assured the public that existing pennies will remain legal tender, right? But businesses and banks are expected to gradually phase them out. Meanwhile, collectors are scrambling. So you see that? So yeah, they print out their last batch of pennies, they're going to circulate them. And that's it. All right, and within a very short period of time, they're going to phase out the penny. Just like they phased out the dollar bill, or not the dollar bill, the dollar coin. Y'all remember the dollar coin? And what about the $2 bill? Y'all remember that? You see, things of the past. Now, you might still see them now every now and again, which, I had one not too long ago. I don't know what I did to it, but, yeah, man. So this is a very real thing, man. And all it is a transitioning process, man. All right. The same way Donald Trump, he coined that whole C-19 operation. He called it warp speed, right? What does warp speed mean? All right. There's a thing called a warp drive, which is they call it a science fiction vehicle that could travel faster than light, right? The point is it's incredibly fast. And that's what Donald Trump does. He likes to do things very fast. Okay, and this is moving fast, man. Getting rid of pennies, right? He hasn't even been in office for a whole year. You see, and all the other stuff he's doing with the ICE raids and, all these different laws he's passing. All right, talking about he wants to reopen Alcatraz and expand it, But, let's continue here. It says, meanwhile, collectors are scrambling to secure rare pennies, anticipating a surge in their value and historical significance. As discussions began On whether the nickel could be next, experts say the rising cost of coin production may lead to further changes in U.S. currency. Right. Okay, so there's a little foreshadowing. Let's read that again. As discussions begin on whether the nickel could be next, right? It will be next. Experts say the rising cost of coin production may lead to further changes in U.S. currency. Right. It could lead to all the way up to them saying, oh, well, it costs more money to print $1 than the dollar is actually worth. Okay, and at that point, they're going to go all digital. They're going to say, well, you know, if you got a digital money, it doesn't cost anything to have digital money because it's just, you know, we just got to keep the computers on. That's all. Okay, and that's a perfect excuse for them to get rid of cash entirely. You know? So, yeah, man, let's get some precepts, okay? This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, right? Just like we doing through these videos, man. All right, we prophesying against this wicked kingdom called America, also known as Babylon, okay? Prophesying about what? It says, and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. That's right. I'm telling you, you know, I've been making videos. The brothers have been making videos about how the pestilence is coming. You got that bird illness, H5N1, right? We've been telling you that America's going to be destroyed in the thermonuclear destruction of World War III. And that's coming. Okay? And of evil. Okay? And evil meaning bad times, man. And it's going to be very bad times when that dollar collapses, man. You people going to be out here getting eaten alive, man. People going to be hungry. There's not going to be food. People going to mercilessly break into your house and just utterly destroy you for anything, man. You know, if you got a donut in your house, somebody will go in there and slaughter the shit out of you for that donut, man. It's going to be hungry time, bad times, man. In the midst of the pestilences, in the midst of race wars, class wars. You see? This is Isaiah chapter 30 verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right, speaking about you Israelites, man, 2/3 of you are going to be left on this side to die, man, because you are rebellious, right? You don't want to follow Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Here we got the scriptures that the Lord has given us, and the prophets are here in the reincarnation. We're back again. Lord's will, I be of one of them. Okay, we're breaking down the scriptures, you know, accurately, 100%, giving you the in real time what's going to happen, man. Okay, before it happens. I'm telling you America's going to be destroyed in the Third World War. All right, we told you the history of what they did to our people and tied that into biblical prophecy. And then we're telling you what's going to happen in the future. And we can tie that to the scriptures and to current events. And you can see that it's all on track to happen, man. All right? Why would they be getting rid of the penny if they're not going to a digital system, man? That doesn't make any sense. For you to think they just want to get rid of a penny. That's the dumbest shit ever, man. This whole system was set up like this on purpose, man. It was set up to collapse. This was a temporary system to reel you goyim in, man. You see? It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. B'Shem Yahushai. Right, you know, so, yeah, like I was saying, man, you know, this whole system was set up to be taken down anyway, man. All right? And, you know, all you people, you know, have been duped, thinking that, you know, this system, you know, is a real system. Nah, man, this is a system based on fraud. Okay? You know, look how these corporations do business, and you know how they gotta waste so many resources, and you know it's just so inefficient. Why? So that one man can get a bunch of wealth at the expense of the whole world. You see? Now there's a way to run an organization, man, but it's not the way Esau does it. Esau runs shit all fucked up, man. All right, this is verse 10. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Right? And a lot of you, you Israelites out there, that's why you're in the Christian church, the so-called Christian church, man, because you want them to prophesy unto you lies and smooth things. Here we are, cussing out Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, telling you he's the devil. And instead of believing us, right, you want to take sides with your oppressor, man, you know? And you go to that Christian church, all right, and they don't teach you anything. You go in there and you don't learn anything. But what you do get is you get a big, fat, bald-headed, pork chop eating pastor with a tie on his neck, which that represents a penis, by the way. Okay, and he's going to tell you that, oh, God is not done with you. The Lord got riches coming your way. You know, and he's going to sing you a song and rock you back to sleep because you're dead while you live, man. You people don't want the bitter, hard truth, man. The truth is sweet, but it's also bitter, and you got to take both sides of it, man. You got to take that duality and accept it instead of just, you know, oh, no, prophesy to me sweet things, man. Fuck sweet things, man, because that pastor's going to rock you to sleep all the way until the missiles come, and then you're going to be violently awakened, man. All right, so there's no escaping this, man. There's no escaping it by being a punk-ass nigga, man. All right, be a fucking real man in this thing, man. All right, you Israelites out there bullshitting these other groups, man. Ask yourself an honest question. Am I in this group because they're teaching the truth, or am I here just to receive some comfort? All right, you know, and there's nothing wrong with comfort, though, because the scriptures are the comforters. But the scriptures have to be taught accurately for you to get the right comfort, right? We have the comfort knowing that this kingdom's going down. You Christians out there have a comfort, a false comfort, thinking that you're going to get rich on this side and that the Lord is with you getting rich and you building a business and building, you know, some people have some crazy dreams here. Oh, yeah, we're going to build, you know, homes, and we're going to build a church out here. We're going to build all these buildings. We're going to help our community. We're going to help the so-called Black, Latino, Native American community. We're going to help our people out and build all these businesses, and we're going to have another black president one day, and this, that, and the third. You know, the Lord is not about all that on this side, man. The only way to fix this problem is through annihilation, man. All right? It's like when somebody has a tumor, you can't save the tumor, man. You got to cut that shit out of their body. All right? Just like this nation, all right, is a cancer on the earth. It just needs to be destroyed, man. And then we'll start from scratch in the kingdom. Okay? This is 2 Ezra 4:26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. Right? A day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day, man. All right? So, you know, creation only took 7 days for the Lord, but it was really 7,000 years. Okay? So Yahushua was raised again. All right? We're in that third day already. Okay? You know? So, you know, third day from when Yahushua was crucified, right? But basically the point is, okay, it'll be over before we know it, brothers and sisters. Okay? Now to us, to our small life and our feeble minds and bodies, okay, to us, you know, this blink of an eye that you've lived your life feels like it's been eternity, man. Like you've been here forever. You may be 40, 50 years old. That's all you know. All right? But it'll be over before we know it, man. All right? You haven't been here just 40 years. You've been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years through the reincarnation, man. All right? But it continues. And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities, right? That's right, this world, this society, all right? You know, which is this Western society, man, which comes from America. America's philosophies and wicked doctrines and idol worship and do as thou wilt spirit push up across the four corners of the earth. This whole thing that a woman can dominate a man, and then men can sleep with other men and women can sleep with other women, you know? This unfair laws, okay? All this wickedness is pushed by America, okay? And we understand that, you know, America, right, and the people that are American-minded, okay, they can't comprehend these things that are promised to the righteous, man. They can understand spiritual powers. They can't understand living forever, you know? They can't understand a world wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. A world where you don't have to lock your doors, you know, to go to sleep at night. A world where you don't have to read the back of food packaging to see, oh, is this organic or not? Oh, did they add a myriad of chemicals to this food or not? Right? A world where you don't have to buy a special toothpaste so you don't get poisoned by a chemical called fluoride that's supposedly, you know, allegedly calcifies your pineal gland. You see, everywhere you look, we're getting constantly harassed by Esau, man. Physically, mentally, in every way, man. You can't escape the, you know, he's poisoning the air, the food, the water. All right? They say a man who was 80 years old back in the day had more testosterone than a 20-year-old man today. All right, and y'all could look it up. I don't remember exactly what year that 80-year-old man might have been born in, or, you know, because they did a study. You know, on average, 80-year-olds from back in the day, not even in the ancient world, just, you know, probably several decades back, has more testosterone than a 20-year-old man today. Because the man has been effeminized, all right? Systemically effeminized, all right? You know, they put all that poison in the food, water, the air, right? And then they poison your mind with their programming and with this PC culture, politically correct culture that you gotta, you know, you can't act like a man, all right? Because if you act like a man, you could get in trouble, right? So you gotta suppress your male energy to some extent, especially at work. All right, you get too flirty with a girl, right? Or if you get too aggressive with a man, you know, you get in trouble. You get fired if you say the wrong thing, or if someone said, he said, she said the wrong thing, or, you know, a group of people just don't like you, they'll bear false witness and get your ass fired, okay? Especially these dirty Edomites, man. Especially if you live in a place there's a lot of dirty-ass Edomites, all right? They tend to stick together in these, you know, smaller towns and shit. All right, but even Jake will do you dirty, man. Okay? But, yeah, with that, let's read this again. 2 Ezra 4:27. And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. That's right. There's nothing here for us, Jake. That is the moral of the story, man. There's nothing here for us. So, no, we're not going to prophesy to you sweet things and tell you that, you know, there's a future here. No, we're going to tell you that you got to rip the Band-Aid off, man. This place is going to hell. This place is going to shit. It's going to be destroyed in that thermonuclear destruction. And good, because if that destruction don't come, how are we going to get the fuck out of here? All right, this is verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Right? The evil is sown, but the destruction is not yet. It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, right? If this place does not get destroyed, And if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. You see, so if this third world war don't come, if all these prophecies don't come to pass, right? The MOTB, Jacob's trouble, right? The thermonuclear destruction of America, Yahweh Shai's return, Yahweh Shai the angels slaughtering a good portion of mankind. Okay? Like the scriptures say, man, on that day, the dead shall be from one end of the earth to the other, roughly paraphrasing. All right, the Lord has a bone to pick with you, you Babylonians, and all you people out here, man. All you heathens, and you two-thirds of our people here in America, and the rest of the wicked of our people around the world. Okay? The Lord is only with the elect. Okay, and the elect have this mindset, that, hey, in order for us to get to the good world, all right, this perfect world, we got to go through pure hell first. And this place, there's going to be a lot of bad times. There's going to be a lot of, layoffs, the economy collapsing, a lot of uncertainty, okay, which takes faith, which takes discipline, okay? A lot of suffering is going to be involved. But you know what? We want to go through it because on the other side is the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay? So, it's just being honest with yourself. Okay? You can lie to yourself until you can't. All right? But if you tell the truth, hey, you believe the truth, that's how you're going to get saved, man. You got to believe this truth, 100% truth. All right? It ain't always going to be sweet, man, but, that's what's going to happen, man. And this article is just a small step closer, or a big step closer, however you want to look at it. But it's a step closer to the MOTB being mandated. Okay, and every day there's steps closer, man. You got Synchron working with Apple now for the brain-computer interface, the C-hip that goes in the brain. Okay, they're competing, all right? They're trying to come up with the best chip. Okay, so it's coming, man. It's coming. All right, so with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakurash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and a sincere shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom to you all. Shalom wa abad babal. Shalom.